So a question that I got from Bonnie is, should I set up my store on Facebook or send them to Etsy? That's a good question, Bonnie. Honestly, we just talked this week, so I kind of know what you're doing. You can send them to Etsy. The problem with sending people to Etsy is you are being put amongst your competitors. So you are, let me put this another way. You are sending your customer to your competitors. It's one of the reasons why I really, really don't love Etsy. Etsy, to me, again, same with what I was just talking about with the SEO. Etsy is a bonus. Amazon is a bonus. If you can sell on either platform and make additional sales, that's great. But I don't usually drive traffic to those places because, excuse me, because they get caught down the rabbit hole. Oh, I'm here. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, this is really cool. Oh, I like that. And they're getting all distracted by all the bright, shiny objects of other products that they're seeing, and you can lose them very easily. So I don't like sending people to Etsy. Now, if Etsy wants to send people to me, meaning I have an Etsy store and Etsy has all of this traffic, and somebody else sent their customer to Etsy, but they find me instead and buy from me, that's great. I'm just kind of like collecting the gravy, but I'm not dependent on that in order to make sales. Because here's the thing about Etsy too, they can change their algorithm and totally mess up all your sales too. Etsy drives me crazy. So the other question is, should I have a Facebook store? I'm holding my judgment on that right now as far as Facebook stores. Excuse me. Facebook stores are clunky. People don't seem to trust them too much. They are just not anything I would recommend at this time. They can take a long time to pay out. Some people get orders and they don't know because they don't get a notification for it. We've had several Posse members have that problem recently. Yeah, I just don't think that, I don't think I can recommend Facebook. So I saw your question in the group yesterday, or was that today? I think it was yesterday. And I pointed you to module 6 here in this group. Go watch module 6 about how to actually make the sale. Honestly, a good portion of the time, a lot of Posse members will use either Square or PayPal because it's the quickest, easiest way to accept payment. It's a more personal transaction. Now, eventually you want to have your own website. Eventually you want to have, go in that direction. But I think, Bonnie, you're putting a little bit cart before the horse in that, the questions to ask right now is, how do I build my audience? How do I build engagement? If you have Square or PayPal, you can, if somebody reaches out to you and says, I want to buy this thing, you can either send them a Square invoice, a PayPal invoice, or you can send them to Etsy. I'm not saying that you can't. I just don't love that option. But don't focus too hard. Just like we talk about in the free training that's here, and even what we talk about in Posse, the sale comes from the engagement. So don't put the cart before the horse. You want to get that engagement. And if you work on engagement and somebody wants to buy from you and you're not quite sure what to do, it's a real quick fix. It's as simple as sending an invoice. It's as simple as sending them to Etsy if you already have Etsy signed up or set up. But if you feel overwhelmed, like, oh, I have to have a professional place to send them, you don't have to have that. There are a lot of members, Posse members right now, that have no website, no Etsy, no nothing. They strictly do invoices. Trina, we talked to last week, making 5 sales a day with invoices. We're going to fix that. She's in Next Level Academy now. So we're getting her, we're helping her with her website and getting her set up in that way. So yeah, it's better to keep them off of Etsy. But if that's the simplest, look, I'm for the simplest, quickest way to making a buck. If that's the quickest, simplest thing for you to do is send them there, then do it. But just be aware that if they don't follow through and make the purchase, it could be that they got distracted. They either got distracted by other people's products or they went to one of your competitors. And that's not a good place to be in. Amy said they have nothing and they're making sales. Yeah. So I just interviewed, not Amy, I interviewed Jody 2 weeks ago, and they don't have a website up. Again, they're a Next Level Academy, so they're going to have one up. So they're making sales with just invoicing. Let's see. April says my Etsy return customers are now using my website. That's what I want. That's what I want, is if you can get them to your website instead of buying on Etsy, then you're removing them from all of the competition. Now they're not price comparing. They're not saying, oh, I like yours, but that one's a little bit brighter and shinier, right? So getting them to your own website. And April's been through Next Level Academy, and she's, you know, so she's got that website set up, etc. The website's not necessary at first.